What's good, guys? Last time that I made a video, it was not recording my audio, so I'll make one today. So this was from Asia session. We had 1300 there. We had 500 on another one. This was to lock in a payout. So consistency there. And then this morning, 1400 on a fresh qualified account. So yeah, that's for alpha futures. So what I'm going to be going over today is essentially this long right here. So this is a long I took. It was about a 10R. And I was getting a lot of questions on how I took this today. So I'll make a video. And I'll give you a little sneak peek. A lot of it has to do with this right here. See that? Bang. Okay. But we'll get into that in just a sec. Coming into the day, what do we see? See the 4 hour. Let's take everything off. We see that we have this high. We had a gap on the 1 hour there. We have a gap here. That was my draw. We also had a... Where did we open? We had these lows that I wanted to take. I think they were maybe a 1 hour gap or something. Because I sent this out to one of my students coming into the day. Let me just copy image. I'll just show you guys. Sent this out. So I wanted to take this low and then go higher to the Gen X5. And yeah. So our gamma exposure is up here. Now our put support was all the way down here. We had a 1 day max all the way up here. So, I was playing in this range. I understood that, I mean, let's look at the higher time frame. Where are we running and what have we been doing in the past few days, right? So just go ahead and look at this. Okay, well that's not loading, but give it a sec. Whatever. Let's look at this here. What the hell? Forget about that. I don't know why it's not working. Let's look at the most recent few days. Okay. So we can see that we've started to trend lower. Like our volume is starting to shift lower, lower, lower. We have a ton of sellers around here, and that was actually where we bounced. So we can see that in this area we had our bounce, we came down, and this is going to be important just a sec. Now up here from the previous day, this was our business zone. So I wanted to see what reaction we had there. And then we had our point of control on the higher time frame. I think this was the monthly composite or something like that. If it would load. Whatever. We had our point of control there, and we had a high volume node there. So this area was another valuable place of interest. Not only that, we had a low volume node on the previous day and high volume nodes previously. So these are my areas of interest coming into the day. Now, on the charts, go here. Let's go to market open. Another thing to apply to our trading is kind of understanding how have we been reacting these previous days. And we have been very slow. We've been chopping around for about 30 minutes to an hour, and I took that into account today. So I did think longs were gonna play. I did want these lows to get taken first, so that is what I waited for. And we got the lows taken out here. I had entered here already because at this point we were stalling, going into the order flow. We see this is at 9:36 or 36, yeah. So that was only 6 minutes in then. And then we got 9:36. So what do we see here? Nothing really on the CVD, but we have a immense amount of sellers here, right? We have a lot of sellers here, and the sellers just simply aren't getting rewarded. We can see that we're closing higher, we're wanting to, continue higher. We're getting absorbed essentially. We have passive buyers, and our sellers aren't leading us anywhere. So why would we want to take a short around here? And if you guys remember, let's look at the 5-minute time frame. If we look at the 5-minute time frame, what area is this? This is around 616. Looking at the 5-minute time frame, where do we have this influx, right? We have the point of control of the previous day, exactly here. We have our volume. This is my area of interest right here. Going into this, zooming it in, we see exactly at that area of interest yep, 16, we get a reaction, and we're tapping into our zone, right? At this area on the 5-minute time frame, we can see the amount of orders are insane. We have 229,000 orders, right? And only 1.1k are bullish. Why? Because there's a ton of absorption. There's a lot of absorption here, and that's what we can see on the charts. That's what we can see on the more granular level on the order flow. And yeah, I mean, we got our absorption. You don't need to wait for this inverse fair value gap. I know a lot of people are like, okay, wait for the inverse fair value gap, or they're like, how did you enter without the inverse fair value gap? We don't use that. We don't need that. It's it's pretty useless. We don't need that. We already had our confirmation here. So coming into that, we see this point, we see our confirmation. I enter here. There's no reason for us to go lower. So I take that and we go all the way. I wanted to take profit here, but understanding the range that we've been in, and that in this area I could expect to see a retrace, I wasn't going to be super eager. Plus, the alpha futures accounts are 40% consistency rule, so I'm like, all right. At this point, I had taken profit a little bit lower because we got that SMT, and yeah, that was that. Now, I think I did try, so I made like 2k on this trade, but I did try a long around here, which did get stopped for very little. It was the same idea, because at this point we were getting, yeah, we were getting field sellers, we were getting a lot of buyers, but it was a lighter entry, like $200 risk, and yeah, this would have been a 13R, just chill. So at this point, why would I have wanted to see shorts here? Well, a lot of people tried longs here. Now, shorts were very clean because we got to this gamma exposure and we see that we're starting to stall out here, right? So what you could have done is see how we react, tapping into this band again, and going into our order flow, you can see we see the exact same thing. We have a lot of buyers, but no follow through. A lot of buyers, and no follow through. And then we start getting aggressive sellers. And what happens with these sellers? They actually go down, right? Would you want to short here where we have a ton of sellers and no follow through either? No, it wouldn't make sense, right? So, let me see. Let me get you guys the deep stats on the other one. I wanted to see how it was. Deep stats. Okay. Oops. Did I hit that? Yeah. Okay. So, this point, we see here, we've got a lot of volume, but it's still bullish, right? Our delta's still bullish. At this point, we make a CVD divergence. So, this was a very clear short right here. Or sorry, not here yet. No CVD divergence there. But you could have shorted here because of the same thing, failed buying. Now, going into this area, what do we see? We retest the zone that we've had. We have our gamma exposure here, and we're retesting it. What happens? We reject. We get a lot of sellers, and we actually get follow through this time, right? So, what do? You can take a trade there. I was already up on all my accounts that I wanted to trade, so I didn't want to take anything. Now, here we got a lot of buying. What happens here? There's another crucial spot. This could be your decision point. What do you do here? If you have, at this point, we had 8,000 orders come in, and it's bearish, and a lot of them look to be bullish. We're closing bearish. That's a clear CVD divergence, right? So you can take an entry here, around here, putting your stop at this protected zone where we have our sellers, where we have all this type of stuff, and you could take that, or you could just wait for a retrace and catch this whole move down. But yeah, that was essentially my trade. Now I'll go over yesterday's trade real quick. I did catch the top, and you see that on my Instagram. I don't know if I posted it. I should have posted it, but what can we see here? Well, at this point, we had different gamma levels, so that would help to see right now. And we knew that we wanted to rebalance. We had these lows here. Okay, yeah, no. It was this short, and then I cut the longs. Yeah. So, same thing. We did have different gamma levels, but... Or did we? I actually don't know if we did, because this is a level where we reacted off of. Here we tapped this band, we saw the same thing, then we could enter here. I got trailed out of this position. I wanted previous week low. I know my boy took that. MPC trader on IG. And then longs were pretty obvious. I was in same trade as this morning. I got trailed out around here though. That was to secure the payout. But yeah. And then I got in another account here. And yeah, I got trailed out around there. So that was basically it. I hope that you guys got some value out of this. And yeah, I mean, I didn't go too in depth of yesterday's, but you know, today's should have been pretty clear on how I took it. And yeah, I mean, I just got back from a run, so go shower, get ready for the day. Yeah, bro, that's it.